Hi Uday, I hope you're doing well. Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today is Women's Day, so my topic is going to be specifically around the health of women and a couple of observations over the years. We're going to talk about prevention, we're going to talk about cure, but we're going to talk about mainly some of the observations and commonalities that we've seen over the years. Okay, number one, all right, the first step of spirituality for a man or woman doesn't start with complicated text, complicated spiritual books and all of that stuff. That's complication. You can reach there. The first step of spirituality is the respect for the human body, because that carries our soul, that carries our life. Without that, we don't live. We may follow different spiritual paths, but not at the cost of neglecting our health. So when people talk to me about spirituality, the first thing I say is, how are you respecting you? A lot of women out there today, a lot of women juggling different roles, playing different roles in life. There is nothing wrong with ambition. There is nothing wrong with striving for more. But the biggest mistake is if you do it at the cost of your health. Like I said, it's the same for men and women, but we're talking about women today. Number two, it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is how you feel. You can switch on social media every day and compare your role as a housewife with the role of another woman who's the CEO of the company. Neither is good or bad. The woman who's become a CEO or the woman who's a working woman has her own ambition. She has her own right. She has her own calling, her own purpose. Let her do it. At the same time, we never look down, and no one should ever look down on the role of a housewife. If a woman has chosen to be a housewife, it is such a beautiful role to play. If it's forced on her, that's a problem. That's a different problem. The point is, there is dignity in every role that we choose to play in life. There is no dignity in pretending to do something that we don't like, but we do it because society wants it. Or we do it because we need to be cool. Or we do it because we need to impress other people and seek validation. That is when there is no dignity. So a simple housewife at home who loves feeding her children, cooking, preparing meals, it's her choice and it brings her joy, is one of the most respectable roles in this world. So is the working woman out there who's helping a company grow or growing her own company, making social impact, making herself independent because maybe she doesn't have a partner or maybe she's lost a partner and she has children to raise. It's very easy to judge people today. And all of us, the moment we open our eyes and we open our ears, we automatically have the ability to get influenced. It's only when we're grounded, when we're mindful, that we stay far from the influence that hits us the moment we open our eyes and open our ears. The point is, what is the biggest downfall of women's health today? Okay, it could be different for many, many reasons. Number one, stress. You need to understand that. Okay? You could be the CEO or you could be a housewife. It doesn't matter. If you don't know how to manage your stress, if you don't know how to break attachment to stress, if you don't know how to express suppressed emotions, it may be difficult, but difficult doesn't mean impossible, because most women are sick today because of hormonal imbalance. There are many, many reasons for hormonal imbalance. It could be sleep deprivation, it could be incorrect food, it could be junk food, it could be PCOS, it could be genetic in nature, it could be too much exercise, it could be lack of exercise, but number one is hormonal imbalance, and that can be caused by anxiety, chronic anxiety, not little anxiety, not day-to-day stress. You had a fight with your husband, with your partner today. No, not that stress. You keep fighting or there's constant toxicity with whoever starts the fight. That's bad stress for you. The point is, you need to understand, whether you're a superwoman, whether you are a superman, the human body cannot spend too much time in chronic stress. It's not because I'm saying it. It's how biology works. When you're constantly stressed, your hormones are out of balance. Your blood cortisol levels are high. Your sugar levels are high. Your blood pressure is high. Now you start to have cholesterol and triglycerides move up. Now you start to have clogged arteries. Now because you have stress, you start to choose vices like vaping, like smoking, drugs, substances, over drinking alcohol. And now you have bigger problems. So you see, everything comes down to balance. You can be who you want to be, But be it because you truly want it, not because other people, you're seeking validation and attention, and by changing your authentic self, you think you're going to be more loved, because that's not true. I always give the example of a lady who walked into my office one day and said that, Luke, my marriage is broken. Everything is horrible and stuff like that. And yeah, I said, what was the start of your relationship? She said it was totally based on physical. I said, okay, fine. What do you mean by physical? She said, I always had to be thin. I always had to be whatever because I thought that's what guys want and all of that stuff. So that's what I focused on. I equated my self-worth with my weight. So I found a guy who liked a thin girl. Okay, everything was great until I had my first child. During my pregnancy, my body changed. My husband stopped sleeping with me. He said, oh, I'm not used to this body. Okay, and then after that, she lost weight. She had the second kid. And she didn't lose a lot of her weight post that because of changes in the woman's body. They never got back to a great relationship because the start of the relationship was based on something which was vain, which was only a thin body. Now, who's to blame over here? The husband or the wife? It's both. When we have vain goals, we need to understand that the human body can change. Money and wealth can change. All of these things can change. When these change, if you've based your love and your self-worth on that, that also changes. Which is why we look for maturity at the start of relationships. The sex can be good, hormones will be raging, all of that's all fine. It's natural. But also look for maturity. Also look for what you want beyond that. So when our self-worth is low, we'll settle for almost anything or everyone in life because we have that longing to be accepted. So whether it's someone bad, whether it's an abusive person, you tend to settle in these relationships because of low self-worth. So we need to understand that your emotional health is your strongest asset. A lot of women out there would have lost it at points in their life. It's never too late to regain it. Take therapy if you need, but understand living the life of a victim is not serving you, it's not serving your children, it's not serving your partner, it's not serving your health, it's not serving society. So at some point we need to jump out of victim mode. Take all the help you need. I'm not against taking therapy and help, but the point is you got to take that first action. You are responsible for that first action. So when you look at health today, you would think, everyone's dieting, everyone's exercising, but yet why can't people lose weight? Because it's not about a diet plan. It's not about the next personal trainer or exercise plan. It's about your overall lifestyle, your sleep, the quality of your weekends, your vices, all of these things. My advice to women is break away from the ideals of society. Okay, most of society is wrong. Think about it, reflect today. They've put you in a box. They've put you in a box to control the way you behave, control the way you think, control the way you should dress at a party. A lot of people going for parties today, they don't actually want to go, but they just have FOMO. Because what will people think of me? I need to be seen. I need attention. All of this is good sometimes. We all go through it, all of us at different phases in our life. But if it's becoming your life, I can tell you right now, the residual feelings is misery, emptiness, and you're constantly searching for more and more ways to escape this unreal life. On Women's Day, I want to encourage every woman out there, your health is your responsibility. Okay? You know, sometimes you'll play very important roles where you only give, give, give. If you're giving and if you're in a position of giving, fill yourself first. You have to fill yourself first. It's not a selfish thing. And a lot of people with low self-worth will think that, oh no, the only way to be recognized and accepted and loved in the world is to give myself completely. No, because people will use that. It will be taken for granted at some point. And then you're going to be shattered. You're going to be devastated. So the point is everything in balance. Every woman out there has powers. You have the power to choose. You have the power to do. You have the power to accept. You have the power to let go. You have the power to lift yourself up today and make a change. You have the power to walk out on things or people or jobs that are not serving you. You have the power to be alone and use that time when you're alone, not to be a slave and a victim, but to rebuild yourself, to reevaluate your relationships, to reevaluate your purpose in life, your goals in life. These are the powers you have. Maybe you've given them away. And there's only one way to get them back, that you decide you're going to take back those powers. Otherwise, it's very easy to blame the world, blame your partner, and then you may be right, but blaming never solves a problem. Action solves a problem. There are too many women out there with cancer today. The medical world will tell you, oh, we don't know. Yes, we know. Most of them are hormonal based. Most of them are lifestyle based. And even if they're the 6 or 7% which are genetic based, something turned on the bad gene, and it is lifestyle again. Okay, very few cancers. No matter what you do, how healthy you are, you get it. And if you get it, you get it. There's nothing you can do about it. The balanced 94% diseases, diabetes, thyroid, cardiovascular, women getting cardiac arrests, endometriosis, hormonal issues, lifestyle, poor lifestyle. You have the power to make that change. And when we celebrate the strength of a woman, that strength includes you taking your power back. That strength involves you deciding that enough is enough. Until the human mind decides, nothing will ever change in your life. Nothing. You got to wake up and decide enough is enough. Okay? This is how I'm going to be from now onwards. But the women and men who stay stuck between complain and blame and whining, and maybe your past didn't serve you, maybe you didn't have a good childhood, but today you're an adult. Now you got to make the change. You can't go on blaming your parents. You can't go on blaming your childhood. You can't go on blaming your children, your government, your schools. No, you can't. You can take lessons from there and then decide enough is enough. I'm going to be the better parent. I'm going to be the better teacher. I'm going to be the better person in society. That choice is up to us. And that is the strength that we should be celebrating every single day. It doesn't matter which woman is prettier or which isn't. There are pretty women in relationships who have zero intimacy and zero sex lives. And I know some women who are probably very pleasantly plump, and some even fall in the category of obesity. And they have the most incredible sex frequency in their life, intimacy, and everything else. Don't let your mind be changed by what you see in the movies, that only the good-looking people have the best sex. Only the good-looking people drive the fanciest cars or are seen at parties. Sometimes you walk into a club and you won't look at the hottest person dressed over there. You look at the person who's smiling and having a genuine plan. You know, let me give you a simple example. I walked into a club. It was an all-African-American, not African-American, it was an all-African club. There were different sizes in that club. Very obese men, very obese women, and fit men and fit women. The one thing that differentiated, my thinking from every single club that I've been across the world, okay, was the energy. There was no fakeism over there. There were people who didn't care how they looked at. Everyone was just having a good time, dancing and smiling, and that's it. That's what life is about. That's not about, I have to be perfect when I walk into a club, when I walk into a restaurant, see who's checking me out, or all of that stuff. Today, most people don't even dress for themselves or their partners. They're dressing for attention and validation. That's okay. Everyone wants to look good. But if it's becoming you, it only means misery, and it only means emptiness. And you keep chasing that more and more. So as a woman today, you need to understand your health is in your own line. Where do you start off? Try to get 1 out of 3 meals right, and then 2, and then maybe 3. Stop copying the world. You're unique. Find out what works for you. Fasting works for you, fast the right way. CrossFit works for you, do it the right way. Do everything the right way, but don't do it because your friend's doing it, or you saw someone in Bollywood or Hollywood doing it. Okay, everything you see on the other side of the screen, understand most of it is fake. Most of it is fake. Let me give you a simple example. Look at the bodies that you see on your screen, and maybe some of you in life will actually see them in real time. You tell me what the difference is now. How the screen and how filters can make you look, how Photoshop and airbrushing can make you look, how tons of makeup can make you look on screen and off screen. The point is, don't get lost. Don't get lost in this. Finally, every human being comes back to their authentic self. Unfortunately, most come when they're in their 70s, 80s, or on their deathbed, and then they live with regret. As a woman today, celebrate your strength. Also celebrate your areas of opportunity, because all of us have flaws. There is no perfect woman. There is no perfect man. There is no perfect world. It is imperfect. And the sooner you start to accept imperfection and flaws, the more burden you lift off your heart, and the more you start to really enjoy the one life that you've been given. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Women's Day to everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep. And remember, you care is all about you.